Yeah, dude.
You wear them?
No, I didn't wear these socks
I was going to say, do you wear those like to school?
No,
and when you sit
I
down
did
at your
not wear
desk,
these to
they
school.
rise up like that, and the kids are like, makes sense.
I did not wear these.
So you changed your socks when you got home?
Yes, to these socks.
That's cool.
Just because...
Like your socks, I think people should do things that they like at home, but when they're out of their home, act like they got some manners and some damn professionalism. Like it.
Me?
Public. People in general.
My shoelaces broke on my shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have been wearing only boots.
To school.
Yeah.
Just tell them, why are you wearing boots? I mean,
Nobody's going to ask.
I'm prepared.
Nobody
For
asked.
combat, because these kids are soldiers.
And I'm a warrior.
No, and someone's got to put them in check. No, I was just saying, like, I was looking at the socks, and I was like, man, if you really wear those to work and sit down, that's
Hiya, kids!
ABC's, not CRT.
Oh, God.
I seen that sign. You seen that?
Yeah, dude, I've seen a bunch of signs.
I honestly don't
I've
understand.
seen some signs.
I honestly don't understand it. What is CRT? I know it's the critical race theory, right?
That's what it is.
I don't know what that is.
It's a
I've
theory
never looked into it.
that's
I'm not being funny.
very critical on a certain race.
I just can get that from
And
that.
that's pretty much it.
So what are they teaching?
I don't know.
So you haven't talked about it.
No.
Aren't you like able to kind of talk about what you want in school though? Like as a teacher, like you can.
I mean, yeah, for the most part.
Yeah.
But my judgment is fairly well.
Oh no, I know. I'm not like taking shots. I'm just
Fairly
saying,
good.
like, if you wanted to talk about that, could you?
No.
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 You think it would be an issue?
Oh, they would just be like, no.
I mean, but there's just, I got you. It's just there's so many, instances that we see now, like on the news and shit, where it's like, should you talk about sexuality and transgender stuff in school? Should you talk about critical
don't
race
say
theory?
gay, Bill.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, because you are a teacher, when you are at school and you teach your lesson plan, can you incorporate other thoughts and ideas into it?
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
But you don't.
I do.
Oh, okay.
I mean, my background is philosophy and religion. So, when I tie anything in, it's like stuff like that. I told them about the man whose horse ran away.
Yeah, you told me that last time. Yeah.
I told them that.
Yeah, but you studied it.
Right.
And you teach it.
Yeah.
I feel
it's
like you're a
valuable
good teacher. Can I come shadow a class?
Of course.
Oh.
He's interested. He's in schooling, as they say.
Have you had someone come do that? Like a shadow? Like a person that would want to be a teacher and they just want to see what it's like a ride along, like a cop you can do with a cop?
No, I've done it. It's like a student teacher comes in and like takes notes on you.
Your mom did it.
When I was a child.
Yeah.
And I got in trouble and my mom had to come to school with me.
Yeah.
I told someone that, one of my coworkers.
Y'all just play cards all morning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really hasn't changed.
Everyone's a drug dealer.
What kind of games you play, son?
Drug dealer. We just wink at each other. No, that's funny. But no, I don't know. I just said, was wondering about that. If you could just talk openly about whatever you want. I mean, obviously you can't, be like,
Right, I'm not going to talk about stuff like that.
I know you wouldn't. I'm just saying if I was a teacher and I was like, you know what? I'm going to start incorporating this into my lesson plan or talk about it with a little bit of free time. Can you? Mm-hmm. You can. Yeah.
Like I talk a lot of history. And they're like, wow, we learn more history in here than we do in
your English
civics, but
English class?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I always talk about history.
You think teachers should be able to talk about certain things?
I think teachers should be able to talk about everything.
You do?
I think the way that it's structured now, where you have like certain content areas, and so like I went to school to be an English teacher. I studied English. So when I go to take my test that says I'm, capable, it's an English test.
Yeah.
Just as if my content was science, it would be like a science test. I think it should be well-rounded. Everybody should have a baseline and everything. I think psychology should be one of those areas. Basic behavioral psychology So basic. It's crazy that the way that the behavior intervention system is structured, like when kids misbehave, the way that things go, like the structure of, okay, you have maybe a warning, right? But and then it
Like
goes
the
on from there.
disciplinary
The discipline
action.
action.
The steps you take when someone's misbehaving.
Right.
Yeah.
It would
It's strange,
be
you think?
completely changed.
If
It doesn't work.
everyone had like a baseline of some psychology.
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
Oh, no. It honestly probably makes it worse. Right?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe you could say that.
Sending a kid home for a week because they did something probably isn't the best.
Oh, but now you don't even send them home.
Oh, no? No suspension anymore?
No, you can literally get suspended, I think, for like 2 or 3 days, come back, fight again.
2-3 days.
Yeah, it's like Fight Club. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's not, I mean, my school's not that bad, but certain schools are.
Yeah.
It's bad. Fight Club. Check out our Insta.
Trying to get on that action.
They have an Instagram of all the fight videos.
Oh, really?
Kids getting their shit kicked in. It's not cool.
Oh, no. Not
This
at all.
culture perpetuates it.
It should be a safe place that you should be able to send your kids to so they can learn and then come home and...
That system is so antiquated.
Yeah.
It's old. It's doesn't work. Everybody has a phone now. Half of the things that the kids ask me, because they're so reliant on others to do things for them, I just say Google it.
Yeah. Everyone does that with
They
everything.
asked me a simple question. I said, that's something you can find out on your own.
Yeah.
That's my advice for you.
Like how tissues are made. You like Google it.
Yeah, I mean, they'll ask random questions like that, but it's usually simple questions, easily solvable. It's not like super abstract stuff with like step by step. It's just like a question.
They're like, what's
with
for
an
lunch today?
answer.
You're like, Google it. I don't know.
What's that what?
What's for lunch today?
Yeah, I never know what's for lunch.
Google it.
You know that their lunch is free,
Yeah.
and that same lunch costs us $3.85.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. And they just eat the chips and throw the sandwiches out.
I mean, yeah, that's what they do with it.
Yeah. Dude.
They literally throw out the fruit. They were throwing out the fruit so much that now they've started saying, hey, put your fruit or vegetables here if you don't want them. So yesterday the box was full of apples and carrots. Like little baby carrots in a bag. They don't eat none of that stuff.
No, I'm not eating it at home.
No, they eat Takis for breakfast. Can you imagine?
No.
I love Takis.
Oh, I will
but dude,
sit here and drink
I
6 beers and
I eat
crush
them
a bag
after,
of Takis
I
with
eat
you.
them after I drink.
Yeah.
Because your inhibitions are gone. You're like, this is horrible, not real food. Horrible for my body.
Yeah.
I'll have a bag.
I mean, it's easier to make that decision when you've had a couple drinks. You know, you're like, oh, dude, I'm
It's not
going
good
to
for
put
you.
down these chips.
See, and that's because we're responsible adults and we understand that
But not even
moderation
that.
is
But
key.
Yes, but not even that. You just don't
They eat it every day.
feel good.
They eat it for breakfast every day.
I told you before, I've seen guys at work, like when I come in the morning, you know, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, eating a bag of popcorn. Like microwave popcorn, deep. And I'm
That's like even nothing.
but I'm like, how are you eating that at 5 a.m.? How?
Yeah, I eat breakfast things.
I can barely stomach a cup of coffee, let alone a bag of popcorn.
Think about a piece of pizza. Yeah. It's
Again,
interesting.
I'm not saying I've never woke up
They put the
before.
Takis down, boy.
Yeah,
7 o'clock in the morning.
No wonder they're fighting. Jesus.
Something.
I probably would fight someone too if I ate a bag of Takis at 7 a.m. Just, I don't know. I told you I give you guys props for doing that job because
It
just doesn't seem like-
I said today.
it doesn't
I said a
seem
long
like-
time ago.
kids want to be at school anymore. They just don't want to be there. And when we were kids, I remember primarily,
Yeah.
especially elementary and middle school, wanting to go to school. You get to high school and you think you're cool and you're like, oh man, that's ditch. But you know what I mean? I remember wanting to go to school. I love school. See my friends. You know what I mean? Do some shit. Plays, whatever extracurricular activity. But I also wasn't too fond of going home. So I liked school. But now, I mean, again, I'm not in school, so I really can't say what's going on. I know you have more of an insight, but dude, I just feel like the general consensus when you hear people talk about it is kids just do not want to be there because they're just like, yo, I can just Google this if I need to know.
It's not that.
No.
No. It has nothing to do with knowledge and everything to do with behavior. And, dude, I've said this year. I've told them this. I said, what's crazy is that y'all just unfortunately are not going to be able to comprehend the fact that you're so negatively impacted by having a piece of device, a piece of technology in your face constantly, that it's impacting the way that your brain is developing. It's impacting the way they're 12 to 14 years old.
Yeah,
I talk to them like this when I talk
because we didn't have that. We didn't have
I'm just
that
withdrawn.
Yet. We didn't have that yet. That, you know what I mean?
No,
it's
a different world.
We really
right now.
didn't get that till like our senior year, and it was
It's
still
a different world.
So
Twitter was a text message service.
I'm telling you, I didn't even really use like Facebook and Twitter and all that till I was probably almost like 22, 23. Like really didn't. You know, and you're still growing and like developing at that age, but not like you were when you're 12.
I was super anti-social media. I still slightly am.
I agree.
Just like certain ones, like
Just don't.
I know for the mindlessness.
Yeah.
That's what it's built for.
Mm-hmm. I don't really. I mean, I get on it, but I don't really like
Scrolling.
Yeah, I don't really engage. You know what I mean?
That's the only thing I use that for now is Snapchat.
Yeah, and I don't even have that anymore.
Yeah.
I really was at the point about to delete Facebook, but
yeah, mine got hacked, so I'm kind of like, blessing in disguise.
Yeah, like I really want to. That's
the
what's
only
crazy
thing
is that,
though is because I look at it like, even though my feed was like great, it was probably the best feed.
Yeah.
Like it was everything great, all the stuff that would pop up that I would read because I just like to read.
Yeah,
and great stuff. A couple like videos and stuff, a couple memes. That's why it's just a good feed. But when I didn't have it anymore, I was like, that was a nice network. At 1,400 people, I could say something, and it's an opportunity for 1,400 people to see it.
Yeah.
And that's what it's used for.
It's a great network.
I mean, just like anything, though,
Yeah.
Anybody follows you on Instagram and you post something, 900 people see it.
Yeah. I just definitely see myself using it less and less, as time goes on. Not because I want to, it's just sometimes I scroll and I'm like,
just like anything now, I think
like
it's going to be integrated.
I don't even want to.
It'll be integrated.
Yeah.
It already slightly is.
Yeah.
It's just a part of the world. And if you want to participate, you kind of got to.
You got to kind of.
Like, apparently, it's TikTok now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even
like
have that.
all the Ukraine stuff that was on
Yeah.
TikTok. I have coworkers that have TikTok. And they were like, check this out. I was like, yeah, I haven't seen that.
Nope.
I don't have TikTok.
I deleted it like probably 6, 7, 8 months ago. It's just
mindless scroll.
Yeah. And it's just like, man, even if I don't do anything with this 20 minutes that I'm going to sit and scroll on this, at least that's 20 minutes to get my brain like, a rest or just to kind of be in the setting that I'm in, I feel like we're so distracted from our surroundings now that we just don't see what's around us. So got rid of that. It was too much. I was just almost like out of habit, just like you would pull it out and be like,
it is that.
And I'm like, damn, dude.
It is habit.
I could sit here and look at whatever's in front of me, and instead I'm looking at this. So Facebook and Instagram are the only two I got left. And Facebook I rarely get on. 20 minutes a day. I don't really, because it's the same shit recycled day after day.
Yeah, you see the same thing, it'll pop up. I see it on Snapchat.
I'm like, bitch, I don't care about your spaghetti dinner you cook.
I'm like, why are you showing me the thing that I watched on October 16th again?
Yeah.
You even say this is from October 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I watched it already.
Yeah.
But if you don't pay attention, you'll watch it.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, I've seen this already. All of this.
Yeah.
So, you gotta be conscious.
I don't really use it that much anymore. That's cool. I'm fine with that.
I do
Feels
use
good.
Google News.
Yeah.
Pull up Google News, and my feed's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, because of the driving job, I don't have a lot of screen time during my day because I can't. So, very audio. Everything's audio. It's a lot of listening.
Yeah,
I love it.
I usually read some Google News at night. Sometimes
more of it's like entertaining bullshit, and then sometimes more of it's a little bit informational. But it's a good mix. I like it. It gets me through my day.
And I use YouTube when I drive now.
Yeah, me too.
I get everything off YouTube.
Yeah.
I have Spotify for music. That's because I got it so that I could have an offline playlist when I went to
snowboarding.
Yep.
Yep.
In certain places in the
there's
mountains.
no service.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, other than that, it's strictly YouTube now. Like, that's the only thing I use.
Yeah.
And you're seeing everything from, it says TikTok on the bottom. You're like,
Everything.
yeah, everything's the same. Everything's getting that way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You know what I had the other day that I haven't had in a long time? And it was awesome.
What?
BLT.
I made one of those.
I made one yesterday.
Well, I didn't make one. I made bacon and then had BLTs 2 days in a row.
I made bacon in the morning on Tuesday. I always make like some kind of a breakfast meat in the morning because I don't ever eat.
I got bacon in the fridge right now.
I've
been eating it all week.
Yeah. So I was like, every Tuesday I either make sausage or bacon, whatever. So I made a pack of bacon. And Kayla doesn't really eat bacon that much, so, fucking 12 pieces of bacon. I had like 3 or 4 for breakfast. I put the rest in the
BLT
fridge.
hit, dog.
And then like lunchtime came around, and I was like, I don't know what I want, but I should eat something. I was like,
I had some bread.
Dude, you know what I have? I was like, I got bread, I've got lettuce, I've got tomato, I got mayonnaise and bacon. I was like, I'm going to make a fucking BLT.
And it was good as it did. Yeah.
I wanted to eat like 3.
Yeah.
I ate 1.
Super good.
Oh.
It
was so good.
It hits.
I don't know what it is.
It's the saltiness of the bacon and all the other stuff.
I just stood there and just ate that shit like a fucking savage.
It's really good.
I was like,
I toasted my bread a little too hard, hurt the roof of my mouth when I ate mine.
Yeah. Nah, I'm a light toaster. I don't like hard
Yeah,
toast.
it was a heavy toasted it on accident.
She walked away. What's that smell?
Yeah, I toasted in the oven on broil. I don't have a toaster.
Wait, really?
Hmm?
Huh.
Mm-hmm. When our microwave broke, some stuff you just don't have.
What about your little
some appliances?
Toaster oven, right?
Oh, I don't have that.
I thought that was yours.
Yeah, it is. I don't have it anymore.
Broke?
Yeah, I just stopped using it. Got rid of it.
Because it used to be the king of the toaster oven. Everything went in the toaster oven.
I got on that kick.
You got it. You were on that kick.
When I lived with Jake.
Yes, you were like, dude, you just put it in there 5 minutes.
When I was in college, because that was actually a gift, too. Okay. That was a Christmas gift. So then it was just like perfect. I was like, oh, yeah, dude, sweet. Yeah, toaster oven was nice.
I remember wake up in the morning, come out there, and you'd have something in there.
Yeah, it's great. I'm thinking about it again. I forgot about it.
Yeah, I didn't because I was always like, that's one of those things, appliances, I don't think owned, and I've never like really used. It's like
it's nice.
I'm almost like it's a mini oven.
I'm remembering how nice it is, but I just use the oven, and that's what our microwave broke in college, and I used an oven for a whole year, and I was like, I kind of prefer it. But microwave is nice to have for certain things like liquids and pastas.
Yeah, having air fryer games money.
Because if you don't have a microwave, how do you reheat pasta?
Hot water in the sink.
Just put everything. It's like sauce and everything.
Buckets. I don't know. That's a good
pan.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, pan fry it. That's how you have to do it that way. Or you can put it in a dish and like put it in the oven, bake it.
Or you just have a fucking microwave.
Or you just have a microwave.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, heating shit up in the microwave does suck though. It like kills it. Mm-hmm. It gets rid of the flavor and the
texture.
The
moisture.
It
that
just
texture gets all rubbery.
It's weird. You do what you got to do, but air fryer.
I had a whole steak that I microwave for 30 seconds.
Oh no, I reheat everything in the air fryer because you can
reheat. I didn't have an air fryer. I was at work.
Yeah. Oh, I got you. Could have just got some apples and carrots.
Also, never know whether or not to call work school.
Work,
but it's school.
True. You gonna work there next year? Spring break's next week,
I'd like to find something to work from home, dude. I save a lot of gas money.
You been looking?
Nope.
Well, then you probably should be looking.
I looked a little bit, and then I stopped. I got caught up with some things, and not worrying about it.
When would you have to let them know?
The worst comes to worst. I can always give it 2 weeks.
And okay. I didn't know if it was like a contract thing.
It is.
Oh,
but it is what it is.
Are you gonna look over the summer?
Yeah. That's the plan.
That'd be cool. I think it'd be best for you.
Now, I've talked to some people. Got some ideas.
I'm pretty sure there's some. I'm pretty sure you can find someone.
I typed in work from home with the bachelor's and everything. It was like $60K.
Yeah.
There's way more than I make.
I know there was a job at, I think it was Virginia Lottery, because Kaylee was looking at it, but it was like 3 days from home and 2 days at the office. I don't remember what it was. Like a clerical type deal. It wasn't like that much, but that's money.
Mm-hmm.
3 days home, doing a little paperwork on the computer. 2 days in the office, get out the house. That would be cash if you can afford. You know what I'm saying? That price point, whatever it was. But that would be sweet.
No, that's what I work from my desk.
Yeah. I forget what it's like to work 40 hours.
Because you work 60.
Easily past 4 or 5 years. I always forget. I was talking to the dude at work today that works in the office, like dispatching, and he was like, he only works 3 days a week, but he does like 12 hours a day, so it's like 36 hours in,
yeah,
almost 40. And I'm like, damn, dude, like what do you do with your
so
free
much time?
I was like, what do you do?
Whatever you want.
He's like, yeah,
it's life.
Just sit around and chill. He's like, it's just enough money to get by, so I don't really get to do anything fun because I don't have that money, but
this is my thing, too, though. Like, when you're afforded that time, which, being locked down, if you want to call it that, like, I stayed home. I didn't leave the house for, like, 3 months, but went to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Once every 2 weeks.
See, I don't know which one I like better. I don't know if I'd rather work 60 hours and have an abundance of money, but little free time, or if I'd rather work 40 hours and not have much money to be able to do anything and have a lot of free time.
Yeah, but see, I still remember what it was like to not have any money.
Yeah.
Like, at all.
Yeah.
You just afforded your car, your gas, your house, and some food.
Mm-hmm.
And some drink whenever you had some spare change.
Yeah. So.
And that's what it was like.
I'm getting
I vividly remember being happy.
Yeah.
Very happy.
Yeah.
Very
well, that's
happy.
what I'm saying. I do too, but it's been so long that I forget what having that free time is like.
You're afforded many things that
oh, yeah.
you probably over time have grown to take granted of.
So I'm thinking I'm going to bang out the rest of this year hard, easy this year. And then
take some time.
I think next
slow
year,
it down.
I think next year I'm going to slow it down.
Yeah.
Because if I bang out the rest of this year at the rate I'm at right now, I'll have zero debt.
Yeah, that's
the goal. That's the goal. And I don't really want to stop until I get to that. So then I can fall back and be like,
if it's a year and you're just grinding then.
Yeah. And I don't want to. I get burnt out.
Oh, I know.
But
that's it.
I also don't want to have to spend 3 more
life.
years.
The people that grind it out
Yeah.
are the ones who succeed.
But
and
also,
whatever they're grinding on. You can grind on being a
anything,
painter.
Anything. Yeah.
That, you just don't have money because I'm painting all day.
Yeah.
I spend all my money on my paint supplies.
Mm-hmm.
And I paint. And then it is, whatever it is. I always think of, like, the starving artist.
I don't know what that is.
Just like...
Oh, you're talking about just like the person
the idea of an artist. I mean, if they're really practicing the craft, they're probably not making money on it.
Oh, no.
It's like a very...
Possibly, maybe even living in a car or some shit like that.
Yeah, like, dude, there's so many talented people out there that...
Oh, there's so many people that go to L.A. and live in their car. And for 4, 5, 6 years are piss poor broke. And then they get into some shit and they're like, I had to go through it to get to this point and I'm here now, But they're also out there every single day, like hustling too, in a sense. You know what I mean? And whatever their craft is, whether it's painting, modeling,
and that's
acting,
all it is. If you are,
which if you are doing that with your time,
right?
You don't have downtime, really. Yeah. So, but I keep getting to myself to this point where I'm like, I'm gonna grind this year and then cut it back next year. But then next year comes and something else is like, if I grind this year, then I can get to this point. It's like always another thing.
I'll never forget my dad said this. It's probably a saying. There's no way he made it up. I feel like every saying that you hear, it's been said before.
Yeah. If you sputtered it out right now, an original saying that no one's ever said before, oh, dude.
But people do. People are eloquent with their words.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was just like, people think happiness is around the corner. Like around the job, around the marriage, around the house, around the no debt. But it's here now, man.
Yeah.
And that's a good practice.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You have control of what right now? Right now.
Yeah.
You don't have control of the past.
Or the future.
Or the future. So then I was also listening to someone looking at anxiety through that lens. Like, you're anxious about things that may never even happen.
Oh, no, I agree. I mean, look at my face. See this stuff? I went to a dermatologist yesterday because I was like, dude, I got fucking ringworm again.
Do you?
No.
What is it?
I thought that's what it was because that's what it kind of looks like, right?
I would,
but not really.
Say no.
But I was like, dude, because I've had it before. I'm like,
you're like,
here we fucking go again.
What is it?
dermatitis,
bacteria,
scabies,
maybe something.
Yeah. Because I was like, yo, it's ringworm. See, it's on my face. And he was like, no, it's not. And I was like, really? He was like, no, it's from like oil deposits in your skin and stress.
Stress, dude.
He's like, it's breaking your skin out. He's like,
Don't
that's
stress.
what it's from. But that's the thing. I don't feel it. But
you live it.
I don't feel it mentally. I feel it physically.
Physically.
Because
So maybe your body's stressed.
Yeah.
You
He's
more
like, that's
sleep?
stress. He's like, that's
How
not
many hours of sleep you get?
6, 7.
It's not bad.
No, it's not terrible.
But sometimes I know my body needs 9.
Yeah, we talked about that one day. I was like, that's when I'll wake up that one morning and I'm
You
like,
need it.
I have to. Today's a 10-hour sleep
Yeah, you
day.
need it.
I'm not going to go in a day. I got to sleep 10. So yeah, he was like, dude, that right there is from like oil deposits in your skin, which I don't have like oily skin. I never have. You know, some people wipe their forehead and it's like, ooh.
I'm kind of like that.
I clean
sometimes.
myself. Yeah.
I mean,
if I'm at home for like a
I've had
week, those
oily
2-3
skin.
days where you kind of lay around and your hair gets oily and shit. Yeah, no, I get that. But I've always been like a clean person. You know what I mean? I don't have like smell and nasty nails and hair and
Sebum.
shit. Yeah. So he was like, dude, it's stress. And I was like, fuck,
Yeah.
man. So he gave me some cream and like a pill for it.
I try to be so conscious that I'm so aware of when things are stressing me out. Mm-hmm. I feel like if you're hyper aware of it, it stresses you out more.
Yeah. That's why it's easy to scroll and not be in the moment.
And I was thinking that this is like an outlet for that, to like ground yourself, because it takes like active listening. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. So, but that's the thing. I'm like, damn, dude. It's my body telling me that, I'm stressed about something. Because, I mean, I've always been like a constant like thinker.
You can be unconscious.
A million things at a time. You know what I mean? Like, oh, if I do this by this time and this time and this time, then I'll be able to get to this time. You know what I mean? I've always been like that and I've thought like that. And, the whole point of this year was to get to this year so we can take this money and do this. And now it's to get to fall so we can move back to Dinwiddie in the house and help relieve some of the bills on that. You know what I mean? It's always like working towards something, which is good, but you can't worry yourself to death about it, which I feel like I haven't been.
And this is where
maybe I am.
I get that.
You know what I mean?
For me, it's the stress is from knowing the goal and then not always acting to achieve it.
Okay.
Consciously being like, I'm going to sit here and watch this TV show.
Like working towards it.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I'm not working towards it, when I'm conscious that, that can cause me stress. Like, dude, I'm trying to get this done. Why am I not doing it?
Yeah.
Well, because I just want to do this.
Yeah.
But then, it's just like that constant battle, man. So then I'm like, well, then I'm not going to stress about it because I'm choosing. So then I don't stress. And it's almost like a confidence, but I sometimes feel like it's unworthy, to be confident. But that's when you stay confident.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I am confident in myself. I've always been like that. I feel like that's what makes me a procrastinator almost.
Yeah. But
it's
you
like
know
if I
you
have
will
a deadline,
get it done.
Yeah, I'll get it done. I just
in the
want to do it right
meantime,
now.
I'm going to do this because I know it will because I'm confident in my work.
Right, but then that's when I'm like, well, that's because I'm so grounded. I'm trying to be grounded here, and I don't want to do that right now.
Yeah.
With this time that I have.
Yeah.
I want to do something else. Mm-hmm. So that's when I push myself until it's like, now you got to bust this out. Which I do. Yeah. But I don't know. I've tried to do it the other way, like little by little,
like gradually
piece by piece.
Work on it to finish it, but instead you like almost.
It's almost like I lose my train of thought.
Yeah.
Like, let's say I'll go back to something and be like, like if it was writing, what was I talking
It's like
about?
when you know you have to get it done, you're like, I'm going to get it done right now because I have to get it done right now.
And it flows. It's a constant from start to finish.
Yeah.
Like if you keep it in a chunk. Like for me personally, when I break it up like that and I'll come back to it, I'll be like, I have no idea what I was trying to say or what I was trying to make.
Yeah.
Like, I lost it.
The train of thought's gone.
Yeah.
You just don't, like, you wrote a paragraph and you came back and you're like, what the fuck was I writing? Huh. But instead, if you sit there and grind for 5 hours, you knock the whole train of thought out, you're like,
right.
That's what I was trying to do.
Start to finish, yeah.
Yep. For me, sometimes it's I know that October we're going to move and set up and it's going to be great. It's getting to that point. Like, I can't do it. Like, I know what we're going to do, and I know how to do it and how to achieve it and I got the whole layout down and the whole logistics of it. But guess what? It's October.
So you're stressed?
No, I'm not stressed. I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, you're just waiting.
And I think that's what gets me subconsciously.
Ride it.
I'm riding it.
And that's what it is. You ride that.
Yeah. And that's where I'm like,
enjoy it.
I just do I just work, keep doing what I'm doing. I've been eating my good food, listening to my podcast, coming over here doing this, riding the wave.
Ride it.
But you have those days where you're just like, God fucking damn, can it not just be October already?
I know, I feel that too.
And that's that anxiety I get goals. Is sometimes
you want them now.
Time is just the factor.
You got to put your time in.
It's not that I'm not.
If that time is work,
yeah,
or if it's patience.
Yeah, but I'm saying I know the layout of this next 6 months to that point, and it's just hey.
Well, that's good because what happened to me was that whole lockdown thing didn't work for months, or work from home.
Yeah,
it was altering, and it made me look at my life different.
Mm-hmm.
It made me look at my goals different, time, so it really, really impacted me.
What's your goal right now? Like, what's a goal?
We have lots of goals.
Oh, I know that. I think everyone's, well, I don't want to say everyone, but
not a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Some people just mindlessly
Brady
go.
Yeah.
Some people mindlessly go. They don't think about it.
Yeah.
And that's where I said it's the spectrum. You have to be in the middle.
Yeah.
Moderation. You can be like that, really. Just nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing in my mind but what I'm doing now. Yeah. It's like, I think we've talked about certain things make your brain do that. Like the body-mind interaction.
Yeah.
Music. That's been scientifically proven that it's just grounding you. You're unable to think about October. Yeah. Because you're flying through the air right now, 80 miles per hour, skydiving or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you're trying to play music.
Well, what gets me is that I have so much free time not free, but so much alone time in my day to myself. You know what I mean? When you have to drive 3 hours somewhere to stop.
You don't talk.
This is what I do. 3 hours to Winchester. You know where Winchester is? Way out there. Like 30 minutes from West Virginia line. You know what I mean? So you drive from Richmond to Winchester 3 hours, and you get there and you stop for 30 minutes because that's how long as it takes to unload. And you drive 3 hours back. It's 6 hours. Most people are in an office or engaged in
walking
some
around,
kind of
talking,
some kind of, hey, what was your weekend like? Or hey, did you send that report? This is me.
Yeah.
By myself.
If you're listening, you're keeping your mind engaged.
Yeah.
And that's what I noticed
So that's why
a couple summers ago. That's when I kind of got interested in listening to podcasts.
Well, that's why I just started.
Jenna got me on it. She's like, listen to this. And I
started off just listening to music, but I would I would drift so fast. I would just be
you don't think about
I wouldn't even hear what I was listening to.
You're not focused on
huh? So I had to go into podcasts because I'm like, I can't just sit here in my own mind for 6 hours.
My dad used to listen to talk radio.
I started with talk radio as well, but then that shit is almost like the same thing every day. Like after a while, you can start to pick the patterns of the show and they talk about this and they almost repeat themselves in a cycle. They come back to the same shit every week or two or the same month or whatever. And I eventually I stopped listening to talk radio because it just was man, they've talked about this before.
We're talking about it again. Yeah.
God, they don't let up on this. And then you get all the commercials and shit. So I just was like, dude, I got to find something else. I tried sports radio, and it's good to an extent, but it's
I used to listen to sports radio.
So the podcasting really helped because it's millions of them for one, and there's a million different views. I love hearing different points of view. You know what I mean? That's great.
Well, and they talk about everything.
Yeah, you don't want to just listen to people or talk to people that think just like you. You know, that's an echo chamber.
Yeah.
Where you just. Hey, you like pizza, right?
It reverberates.
Yep.
And that's the mindless
I want to meet someone that's like, oh, I'm a vegan. I want tell me about that.
Mindless mass.
Yeah.
It's like the majority. They want to, it's like uniformity.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Because I like to hear like different opinions and views of things. Because for me, it's hard to think about not eating like meat. Like if not eating meat ever again, I'm like, yo, and if you hear someone talk about how they don't do it, you're just like, I want to hear about that.
Interesting.
Because that has got to be.
I've had a couple friends.
That's a mindset. Like that's a lifestyle that I personally wouldn't want to do, but I want to hear about why you want to do it.
Yeah, in my whole life, I'll never choose that.
I could never not eat a steak. I could eat a steak every night for dinner. Yeah,
See,
I could.
You could,
but I don't want to.
Right, I would never make that choice for myself.
Yeah. Unless they were like, yo, if you eat it, you'll die. I would never not eat a steak.
Right.
Never. You know? But this person is like, yeah, I don't.
It was the same way for them, except on the other end.
Yeah. But
they said, no way will I ever, you know.
But I feel like so many people don't want to hear the other side. You're just wrong.
They want to be in the echo chamber.
You're wrong. You eat meat, you're wrong.
Because it's reaffirming.
It's like, I'm not wrong. That's my choice.
It's reaffirming. And that's why all of these little small communities you find, they're all over the internet, dude. You know, a couple thousand. People like participate in the internet. And I'm like, that's kind of how people are socializing now. Mm-hmm. And a part of me does like to socialize. But also a part of me likes to sit alone in the house for a while.
I don't really socialize on the internet.
I mean, not on the internet, but like maybe through YouTube, we'll start building a community of people that you can talk to. Like Discord is a thing now. Yeah. People are in the Discord all day long.
And talking. And like Substacks and stuff.
We're hanging out. Talking about stuff.
I like in person, man. Maybe it's just because we didn't grow up on the internet. I just would rather meet up with a group of people. Yeah, but then that's when you get 60,000 people. I know.
In one place.
But I'm not...
You can do that. Yeah, and when you do it and you've built them and you've brought them together through like-mindedness. Mm-hmm. See, like you can preach open-mindedness and variety to your life and your culture and how it enriches you. Like travel, I say, is the number one thing. When you can travel and talk to someone in another world, living another life that is so different from yours.
Travel's cool. Definitely.
It makes you look at people different. You're not going to be racist if you've traveled all over the world. You're really not. Because you've met wonderful people that can't even communicate with you.
Yeah.
They communicate with you on a human level. It's not verbal, you know? Mm-hmm. It's just like being. It's so weird. It's so weird.
It's cool.
Yeah, I know you've been there.
I liked it.
You've
that's
why
done it. Sometimes I'm like, man, I just would love to take a little trip, you know? But
it's refreshing.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Dude, I'd love to go to Japan. We talked about it.
Yeah, Ireland we talked about. I still want to really go there.
I'll go.
You know, but, you know, now...
Figure out what all these travel rules turn into.
Yeah. But now with the kids, too, you know, it's a totally different world and ball game, too. And that's, you know, another world that's been opened up to me. And it's... You know,
and guess what you do?
Learn.
Because we were talking about getting that cabin.
Yeah.
Guess what you do?
Take them.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you think it's good for you. Think about how that's for a developing
that's
child.
The thing. Honestly, when we were like talking about taking them like to some summer trips this year, and really, yeah, because I want to go, but really it's to take them.
Wait till you put their feet on sand and see what they do.
Know. We are trying to take some beach trips this summer.
Grass.
Yeah, they just switched up our pay system at work. We like went to a thing called Paycom. We were like ADP, and now we're this Paycom system.
System, yeah.
But
software.
They like took our sick days away, and instead of sick days now, they just gave it to us as vacation days. So I'm still not too sure, but so instead of getting like 48 hours of sick days, you know what I mean, or sick pay, they just took that and added it to our vacation time. So now we just get like double vacation time every year. Like, oh no, instead of, you know, 80 hours a year, you get 125 hours a year. So I think I have like a way more vacation time than I did. I need to look into it, but our goal this summer is to take a couple beach trips.
We should be available.
2-3 days. You know what I mean?
Not weeks.
Week-long beach? No, like 2-3 days.
2-3 days?
Yep.
That's what, when we like to travel, when we're off and we're available to travel, like, I really enjoy just road tripping and you stay 2-3 days and Random places.
Dude, microdose. You know what I mean?
That's what it is.
Just get a little hit.
And it is. And you get a feel of a bunch of different places.
Little high off of it and come on back. And that shit will rejuvenate you. Mm-hmm. You know? You can go 2 months and be like, oh, that was good. But now I'm ready for it again. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're trying to do. Be some beach trips, you know.
See, and that's where that spontaneity, because when you're on vacation, it's not planned. Mm-mm. Some people do plan their vacations, which
we kind of have to
those are just super type A people.
We kind of have to now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like, but I'm talking about
just out of
selfish need, just to be like, well, I that's like super type A. That doesn't sound like a good vacation to me.
What?
Like if being with someone who felt that, not because it was needed for some children, but because with someone, an adult, that was like, hey, we're late.
Oh, no,
like, what are we late for? Well, we wanted to have dinner.
Oh, you're talking about like the super strict scheduled vacation. Oh yeah, no. When I'm on vacation, bro, I'm like, we're just gonna let this thing play out.
Right.
We're gonna wake up when we wake up.
I can understand circumstantial, like, oh well, there's a show we want to go to.
Yeah.
Or a time where we have to make it, but.
Oh yeah, no. When I'm on vacation, dude, I'm like, I'm waking up when I wake up. We're getting down there when we get down there.
I'm staying out there as long as I feel like
staying out there until I feel like I want to come back. And then for dinner, I don't know. We'll just see.
Depends on what happens. Yeah, it depends on what time I come in.
That's my kind of, I'm not.
You know what I'm saying?
At 8:30, we're going to the pancake. I really
enjoy that. That's really grounding.
Yeah.
For me. Spontaneity and like, cause you don't know what's going to happen.
No.
So it's like, it helps you remember that perspective because even though you go to work every day, the same days, you do it's never the same.
No.
It's always different.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's what that helps keep that perspective fresh.
Keeps it fresh, yeah. Dude, a guy at work the other day, reeled me into a conversation, but set me up for it. And I was like, you motherfucker.
It was like a comedic setup?
No, it was like, I don't know if he purposely did it, but I just was like, come on, man.
He got you at the end.
Yeah.
With something.
Old dude. And he drives the truck that I drive at night. Mm-hmm. So I switched. And I don't really know him, like, at all. Like, I know nothing about him, honestly, except for his name. You know what I mean? And what days he works. Because everyone works different days. And, like, when I first moved to that truck, I was like, hey, man, this is my number. If you're going to be back late or something happens and I have to use another truck, just let me know. You know what I mean? Because a lot of guys there, man, they get to work early as fuck and just hang out. And that's not me. Like if I have to be to work at 5, I'm going to be pulling into work at 5. These guys will get there an hour and a half before their start, talk, eat, hang out. And that's not me. I've never been that person.
I know people like
I'm
that.
at 5, I'll be here at 5.
Right.
You ain't going to catch me here at 3:30.
You tell me what time I need to leave?
I'll leave at that time. Yeah. So this dude, he was like, yeah, man, I got you. So the other day I get there and he's like, hey, I'm going to work tomorrow, but then I'm going to be off for a week. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go visit my wife. And I was like, oh, cool. Where's she live? He was like, Sunset Memorial. And I was like, I don't know where that is. Where's that at? Like Florida or something? He was like, no, it's a cemetery on Route 10. I was like, bro.
Yeah.
Why would you do that to me?
What did he say? Was he like lighthearted with it?
He just was like, yeah, it's a cemetery on Route 10. You know, over there by the Chick-fil-A in Chester. And I was like, yeah. He was like, yep, it's been 5 years. And kind of just like was like, and I was like,
well, he felt the need to tell you.
Yeah, but it was just like, I'm going to go visit my wife.
In the best way.
I'm going to go visit my wife, man. I was like, oh, cool. Where are you going? Where's she live?
You said the words, where does she live?
I said, where is that at? Or where's she at? You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
If you were like, hey, I can't do the podcast next week. I'm going to go visit my brother. I'd be like, oh, yeah, down at Virginia Beach or something? If you're like, oh, no, in the cemetery. I'd be like, why would you say that? I don't know.
But how else would you say it? No, I understand the setup. I understand. That's funny.
First of all,
I think it's funny.
He could have just been like, hey, man, I'm not going to be here next week. I'm taking some time off. And I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. End of conversation. Right? I don't.
I just want to let you know I'm going to visit my wife.
I wasn't like, where are you going?
Did he say visit?
He said, I'm going to visit my wife.
Yeah.
And I said, where does she live?
Visit is the word.
That's what got me.
Yeah. See, you could have said see. But visit is a good word. It's a good word
that's
choice.
What you do,
You're
right?
going to
You're
visit
going to visit your loved ones or whoever. But it just threw, because I went like vacation.
I mean, well, he could have said, I'm going to visit my dead wife.
Or he could have just been like,
and you would have been like, oh.
Yeah. I think the phrase got me. When he was like,
No,
I'm going to go visit
course.
my wife, because I was like, well, in my head, like really quickly, I was just like, oh, that's weird. His wife
That's
doesn't live with them.
understandable.
Maybe she lives somewhere else, you know? I was like, maybe she lives in like a community, like a senior living home or something, you know? Because he's older. He's
Sunset
definitely older.
Memorial sounds like that.
He's like, oh, you know, over in Sunset Memorial. And I was like, I don't know what that is. He was like, oh, you know, it's over there around then. And I was like, oh. He was like, yeah, been 5 years.
And he's like 50, 60?
Oh, he's got to be 65. He's older, definitely. And I was like, oh, damn, man. I was like, my bad. I'm sorry. He was like, oh.
Did you say my bad?
Yeah, I was like, oh, my bad, man. He was like, oh. I was like.
See, you always just cover it with, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
But my thing is.
But you're not sorry to hear that he's going to visit his wife. That's a great thing to do.
It just put me in a weird spot. Like, I wasn't expecting that. I don't know what he should have said or shouldn't have said. Maybe what he said was perfect, but it just got me. It just like,
yeah, no, that's
it
gettable.
Threw me into, like I said, I was like, real and God.
Damn.
But then he didn't say anything. He was just like, all right, man, well, I'll see you tomorrow.
See you later.
And I was like, all right. And I was like, motherfucker. Why you do me like that, man? First off, I've only talked to this guy like one time. It's not like we've known each other our whole lives and we're best friends and we're like, hey, man, what'd you think about that show last night? Yeah. What are you and the family doing this weekend? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I do not talk to this guy. And the fact that he just hit me with that so casually, I was like,
He wanted to tell you.
Yeah, he wanted to.
And you were there to listen. And you only hope
really
that you
did.
do it in the best way.
Because I felt like he wanted me to be like, oh, what happened? But I was like, I don't want to dive down that road.
And that's okay. Because that's also respectable.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. My bad, man.
Dude, and that's the thing. That's what life's about. Mutual respect, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
But I was listening, and that's the thing that once you realize that life isn't always happy.
No.
And you have to learn to love the not happy times.
Yeah.
Because
you have to be able to identify that you're in the shit, and when you are, that it's awesome because that means that
and really
some
enjoy
point
it.
you're going to be
down again.
Not in the shit. You're going to be in a better place. Like
yeah,
you have to.
You're going up, and you know once you're up, you're like, oh man, I'm up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel good right now because guess what? I know
I'm gonna come back down eventually.
I'm coming back down eventually, and that's what I was talking to somebody and talking about. You know, anything in space time right now in this universe is wavelength. It's frequencies, and that's how things travel. All energy travels in wavelengths.
Yep,
and that's how we travel too. And I think that's so some people get way lower, than some people.
Yeah.
Some people get way higher.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, it reciprocates. The lower you go, it's like, that's basic physics also, equal
a balance. Like if you go down
reaction.
there, you got to get down there, you had to be up here.
Right. And so I think
you're not just riding
that's
a
where
flat
you
line.
really see those people that suffer. It's bad.
That go down low and
yeah, but then that gives them depth, and when they power through it and press on.
Some people can't.
Some people can't power through it,
and they ended there.
Some people cannot
and that's
power through it.
Yeah, some people can't come back up.
And that's what when people do, and you tell someone that's so low that you can, think this way, you'll be up. You have depth, and you have to understand that. Like, dude, some people have had their family murdered.
Yeah.
Some people have seen their family be murdered in front of their eyes.
Oh, there's horrible shit that happens.
And you don't even comprehend that. You're like,
no.
oh, man, I got to pay a couple $100 to get a new tire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I know.
And so that depth really.
But that's why also, too, you should
evident.
be respectful, and when you are out in public,
you never know.
Around other people
you
should
assholes.
act polite and you have manners
you
because you have no idea what that fucking person that you're like didn't hold the door for or didn't or bumped into instead of being like, oh,
they're
sorry.
way worse off.
You just don't, but you don't know what they're going through.
They have the opportunity to be incredibly...
Could have just lost his job, and you just bumped into him and said, fuck off, man. And that's when he pulls out a gun and shoots you, because that was just that fucking moment. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you know, and I feel like we're living in a time and place where... People
aren't taught empathy like that.
We're living in a time where it's almost like you can... No one's wrong. No one's wrong. And whatever you like believe in or think or however you want to act, you can take out in the public and act any type of way. And really, I think that's why there's so much like crazy shit and things are so chaotic and wild right now, because we're not...
There's no sense of community.
There's no
empathy.
Yeah,
but it's not taught.
There's like no principles. Like
these people that don't live that way are procreating and raising children that way.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am on everything. No, of course not. But there's no just like, it seems almost like just general respect for people.
That's an innate, intrinsic feeling of, dude, I know you don't want to be murdered because I don't want to be murdered. Yeah. And then you can bring it down to, I know you don't want to be insulted verbally because that would make me uncomfortable.
But it seems like you can't even address it anymore with anyone, because if you say something to someone, you know what I mean? Like, hey, would you mind turning that down? Or it's a little too loud or something, whatever the case fucking might be. Oh, dude, it's insane.
Yeah.
That chick flicked me off and cursed at me the other day.
Yeah, when people do it driving.
No, I wasn't driving. I was out of the truck. And I was just like, dude, seriously?
Because of why? You're driving?
When you go to a gas station...
Because you like blocked it.
If you ever, you probably have never noticed it, 'cause it's something like you wouldn't look at unless you do it.
But
there's these little like holes in the ground at gas stations where you have to like hook up to. And sometimes people are parked there. It just is the way the fucking place is built. It is what it is.
You have to ask people to move sometimes.
All the time. At least once a day. And you know what? 90% of the people. Of course. Oh, sorry, man.
Sure.
Oh, no problem.
Not
you know
what I mean?
At all. But then... Or more people just realize that they see that fucking truck and they're like, oh, this has to be right here. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean? So I pulled up this was like probably a month ago. I pulled up, I parked the truck, and there was a car parked across the parking spots. Not even in one, like across 3 of them.
Just pull it up real quick.
Right where I need to go. And I always just kind of like give a little beep beep, you know, and the person usually looks at you and you're like, hey, I got to park right here. Could you move? And okay. You know, some people will be like, but whatever. Dude, and this chick literally looked at me and was just like, fuck you. And I was like, okay.
But you got out.
So I pulled up and blocked like I pulled up where I needed to, which was going to block her in there. That's why I was trying to tell her to move, because you don't want to, I'm going to be there for 30, 40 minutes. Who wants to fucking sit there for that long? So I pulled up, parked, got out. I walked around and this chick goes, oh, I'm calling your company right now. I'm getting you fired. You can't block me in like this. What do you think you're doing? And I was like, yeah, that's why I beeped at you, to let you know to move, because I have to park here to do, a delivery. Oh, I'm getting you fired. What's your name? I see the number on the truck right there. I'm calling and getting you fired.
Yeah.
You're done. What's your name? I was like, my name's Kevin. I was like, what's yours? She's like, my name's Ashley, and I get people fired. You're good. You're losing your job today.
That's power, dude.
I'm not even
She's
kidding
stroking that power.
Dude. Not even kidding you. And I was
That's
like,
crazy.
I was like, oh
People
yeah?
walk around that way.
I was like, oh yeah? She was like, yep, I'm calling right now. I'm going to call him right now and get you fired. I was like, that's cool, but I still need you to move, because I have to like park here to like make this delivery. And she was like, I'm not moving. You can't make me move. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to be here for like 40 minutes, so I hope you don't mind waiting, because you see them holes in the ground right there? That's where this gas has to go, and I can't park anywhere else except right here to do it. So hope you don't mind sitting here for 40 minutes.
Tell me you made her do it.
I can't sit here that long. And I was like, all right, well, there was like a space at the back of the trailer, like she could back out. Like there was enough space back there to back out, but she couldn't pull forward. And she was like, oh, well, I can't sit here that long. I was like, all right, well, I already turned the truck off. Looks like you got to back out now. And she was like, I can't back my car up.
I don't know how to back the car up.
Yep. I was like, seriously? You don't know I was like...
You know what I do know how to do?
Get you fired.
Call and get people fired.
She's like, so you don't know how to park in a parking spot and you don't know how to back your car up? And she was like, stop being a dick. And I was like, well, I need you to move and back your car up. I was like, because you're in the way right now, so unless you want to sit here for 40 minutes, you better back out now. I was like, because once I lay them hoses down, you can't go nowhere. She was like, I can't back up. I can't back up. I was like, come on, just start backing up. I'll tell you where you're at. Come on, back up.
So then you helped her back up.
Yeah, all the way out. And I said, look at that. You do know how to back your car up. Pulled off.
Yeah, I do like the kill them with kindness thing.
Oh, yeah, I never curse. Never yell.
Let them get mad.
I'm not going to be like, bitch, get the fuck out the way.
They're a person, and guess what they will always do? Feel like an asshole.
Yeah. Because once she realized that I was parking there because I had to, not because I wanted to, you could see her whole demeanor change. She went from like, I'm getting you fired to, oh, shit, I'm in the wrong. But it's just crazy. Like
that she would jump to that.
She chose violence that fast instead of assessing the situation and being like, why do I, even if she would have been like, why do I need to move? I'd have been like, oh, because this is this. This is where I have to do this. And then that person will be like, oh,
dude,
okay.
It's the perfect example.
My bad.
It's all the way up on the highest levels of glamour with Will Smith.
And dude, that's why that was
an example.
That was a perfect example.
That was an example of the system slapping itself in the face.
Perfect example of what our general society is right now.
That's the culture.
I'm on Chris Rock's
side
on
on that
one.
Of course.
100%.
Do you think that's okay?
Hell no.
No. Words? Someone said some words.
This guy.
You think that justifies physical violence?
Physical violence should be the last resort, and that's when it needs to be used. Like, because self-defense or someone is about to harm you, by all means, you grab me in public and I don't know you, and you physically grab me, oh, I'm going to fight you.
I was told today one of the teachers at the school, at her school, was kid like got up in his face. You won't do nothing. You won't do nothing. It's like, yo, what are you trying to do right now? Like trying to get him to hit him.
Yeah. That whole Will Smith Chris Rock thing was a perfect example of what's going on.
When it comes to the physical violence, that makes me look at you like an animal.
Yeah.
Like, and I know you're not an animal. I know you're a human being, and I know you're probably going through something, which made you think that was the correct choice to make.
You were just 100% just showing immature and the ability to not control your emotions. Seriously, like, first off, this award show has been going on.
Oh, and yeah, I mean, we can talk about it in that regard, but it's on a basic level, like with the woman. It's like all these examples.
Yeah, and I feel like it's so hostile out there right now, just in general. Like, so many people are so quick to jump to the violence immediately. No one. That's what I was trying to tell you. No one wants to talk anything out anymore. Bro, we don't have to agree on. We don't have to agree on anything.
It's the most basic. It's like the pleasure-seeking, basic, animalistic level of, yeah, you want to talk? Guess what I have the power to do? Make you gurgle your own blood on the ground while you're trying to talk to me. And then you're not going to be able to talk to me because I just made you not be able to talk to me. And it's basic.
Yeah.
And it's like the hierarchy of animals.
Yeah.
But we're not animals.
No.
We're humans.
Complex specimens.
We have the opportunity
Yeah.
to have differing opinions and sit down and have civil discourse about it.
Yeah. And like I said, and at the end of the day, if it comes down to us acting like animals and fighting it out, it's because that's the last resort. Like, it's gotten to, for me, I feel like it's gotten to that point which
it's when someone else is broken before you.
Yeah.
It's when someone else has taken it to that level
before
you, because I'll never do that.
No, but the only way I'm fighting you in public if I don't, like, you know what I mean? If you touch me.
If you're physically
attacking me, yeah. Or like my family or someone who I love, you know what I mean?
You have to stand up for them.
Like if someone jumped on you in public and started hurting you, I would totally fight them.
Yeah, but it's like the same thing though, like someone might say something to someone's child and that father might beat him up.
Oh, just for being like...
For saying something.
Yeah, and no, it's insane.
No, and that's when you teach your children the correct way to react. And dude, it's words.
Talk it out.
They can literally say whatever you want.
Yeah.
And I try to tell this to preteens. When someone can use words to make you have an action, that's power.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I can say something that make you act a certain way, I got control over you.
Yeah.
I'm controlling you with my words. I'm not forcing you physically. I am manipulating your mind with my words, and I'm controlling you.
And
like, no one talks about my mama. Oh, really?
Yeah.
What do you do when people talk about your mama? You punch them?
Yeah.
I can talk about your mama right now.
Yeah.
And you're just going to punch. It's like, I've always said too, though, like Fight Club.
Yeah.
When he's like, this is my basement, y'all need to get out of here. He's like, what are you going to do? And I'll beat your ass.
That's
he said, okay.
Yeah.
And then he beats his ass and he's like bleeding over him. He's like, all right, are you finished beating my ass? That accomplished nothing.
Yeah.
That didn't accomplish your goal.
We didn't leave. And that's the thing,
and
man.
Laughing in his face.
We're just not, I just feel like we're just not living by, like, you know, just a set of standards that we're supposed to kind of live by.
I think the decline in religion has impacted that.
Yes. And I'm not
just because
but
of the moral structure that more often than not religions have, right? Especially prominent traditional religions. But
social media,
I think it's also the praise
of
that.
Yeah.
It's praised.
Yeah. The decline of the Western world.
Yeah, it's because, I mean, it's because people are so unconscious and uneducated. They're just, and then again, I think that's because it's made that way. People are making it that way. I think there are plenty of conscious people in the world, but they don't have the power to control it. The only power you have is to not participate in it. Mm-hmm. And so, like, it's all just now it's tech, big tech.
Yeah.
With advertising money. They control everything with ads. It's like, oh, you want to, you know, you're a capitalist business. You're in a capitalist country. You're a business. You obviously want to make profit. Yep. And I can help you do that. Doesn't matter how I do it. Like, they get your data, apparently. I mean, and that's the one thing they work on, dude, your data. They collect it. They manipulate you with it.
They know how to target you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know?
It's real.
So, I don't know, man. It's just.
Have you ever heard of ALEC?
I think I have. Is that an operating system?
It's an organization.
I know. I've heard of this. What is it?
It's like the American Legion essentially it is where all the major CEOs of all these Fortune 500 companies, major international global companies, or they're in this organization with prominent policymakers and lawmakers in politics.
I have heard of this.
And they make laws together.
I've heard something about this, yeah.
And they make laws together. It's like the reason why we have like the most incarcerated population, like comparable to each country's population.
I think so.
And so, like, you know why we probably have that?
Because it's profit.
So much money.
It's a business.
They pay for electricity, and it's all government subsidized most of the time. Once it gets to that federal level, it's federally paid for. Well, the government's paying Caremark to feed the prisoners, or whoever.
It's a business.
Yeah.
They're
building the construction companies to build the properties.
It's not to rehabilitate humans, to put them back out into society successfully.
Other countries do that way better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's to...
Yeah, it's because once you're a felon, you're always evil.
But the whole, like, idea of prison is, you know, when you do something wrong, to go in, to rehabilitate the person, to return them to society so they can go back into it and function normally or properly, right? Mm-hmm. But again, like you said, it's a business. It's meant to keep people coming back and to stay there and to fail them because the few distributors that distribute the prisons,
they make you into that animal.
Contractors that, because you're going to come back.
They make you into the animal that will do the thing that's against the law.
I bet the percentage of people that have gone to jail or prison are repeat offenders.
Yeah, I wonder what the percentage is.
I bet you it's huge.
Probably
60-70%, I bet.
Probably high.
You know? Because when
it's
they're
like,
in there,
I've never gone, and guess what I can guarantee you?
I'll never go.
Yeah.
That has always...
Guess what? Because I am conscious of my actions, and I don't break the law like that. I'm not going to be going to prison for a long time, ever.
Well, there are things that we have done. We could definitely have gone to jail or prison, for sure. But I'm just saying, there are so many things I haven't done because I'm like, I know I could go to jail or prison because of this. Like that has always been like a factor in the back of my head. Always. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not going to punch this guy in the face at a bar because I'm drunk and my emotions maybe run a little bit high. One, because I don't resort to that. But also, two, the other thing that always gets me is like, I'm not trying to go to jail.
Guess what the people that do that say?
Send
me to jail. I'll go back to jail to punch you in the face.
Yeah, not me. I'm not going. I'm telling you.
That mindset, man.
I have always been like, dude, not me.
It's entrapment.
You ain't taking me.
They trap these poor people.
Yep.
That's the word I was going to say today. Prior to today, the word I said months ago was that it's just sad. It makes me sad to interact with these future people, these young people.
The kids.
It makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because I see their future. It's easy to see.
Yeah. So that's one thing I don't see, yeah.
Because a few of them will respect life to the extent where they will learn from their mistakes. And they will make mistakes. But
also,
it's pity because it's not their fault. It's not their fault.
Yeah.
Their parents are uneducated. Their parents don't know how to be good parents. People don't know how to parent. Yeah. I mean, think about, did you read a parenting book? Did you read How to Take Care of a Baby book?
Yes.
So, boom, that's the thing is, you care enough to understand that you know nothing about this.
Yep.
And I'm going to learn a little something.
Yep.
I'm going to read this book
I
about
read
it.
Like the first year as a dad book. You know what I mean?
Follow documentaries or whatever it is. You're going to understand that I don't know anything about this. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that at least I know minimal stuff.
Yeah,
at
exactly.
least I know the minimum.
Like I would never.
And people don't even do that.
No.
People don't even do that. That's why they feed their kids garbage food. They don't take care of their sleep schedule. They don't understand, like I said, the impact that these pieces of technology are having on their brains.
Yeah.
Kids don't get read to anymore. You know why? Because parents can't even read.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
But also, it's not every.
Not everybody, but
you think it's a lot? Yeah.
I think you just don't interact with those people in your life.
I don't, yeah.
Just where you are in your life, where you work, where you live, you just don't interact with those people. But there are adults that are just as intelligent as these 12-year-old kids. Because nobody ever taught them. And it's first to teach children how to learn.
How many kids do you have in your class?
To teach them how learning is good.
Yeah. How many kids do you have in a class?
It's like your 20-something.
Like 25?
It's like upper 20s, 25 to 30.
Yeah.
It's never 30.
How many of those kids do you think come from a good home? And when I say a good home, I mean
it's
like
funny. So here's the other part.
I
and this
would
is
say
where
you came from a good home.
Me?
Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have a great mom and dad.
Yeah.
Great family.
Yeah. I grew up great. I had a great time.
Definitely.
People can't say
definitely shaped your
of course.
Success.
Of course.
Don't you think so?
To an extent, yeah.
And that's why I felt like I surrounded myself with people like you and Kyle and stuff
other people
because I wanted to be.
Well, that's the thing too about the culture, and what I was about to say is that the culture is praising all of those things like violence, sexual promiscuity, and all of those things really require no intelligence.
They're actions.
There's no intelligence required.
Yeah.
So there is none because they don't have to know it. The only thing that is making these people, young people that have parents that don't care, I mean, because I got my job and I'm dealing with my own life, and you just got to focus on your school. That's what it is. The only thing that make these kids do it is school. So that's the only thing. If they don't have the parents backing up that,
how many kids?
That structure doesn't hold because guess what? There are kids that do nothing that pass, and then once they do that, guess what they do again the next year?
Nothing.
Because guess what?
It worked last year,
and I'm not going to do it again. It's going to work this year.
Yep.
I literally do nothing. Have Fs, and it used to be I failed everything this year, and I have to go to summer school, and all I have to do is show up to summer school, and then they pass me. I don't have to know anything. Oh yeah, I didn't pass the summer school, but it's up to the parents. Do you want your kid to be held back? No.
Yeah.
I'm ignorant. I don't even understand that he doesn't know how to read on a 4th grade level.
Not my kid.
He's 8th grade.
Yeah.
You know your kid can't read 4th grade stuff? No, they probably don't know that.
Yeah.
It's just the fact.
Because if they did, they wouldn't. They would know. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. So out of the 25 kids, let's just say in a class, how many of them do you think come from a home like a good home, whatever we would consider a good home, like a home you came from?
I'd like to say 50-50.
You think so?
That's probably me being hopeful.
So you think at least half the kids in that class
have
a future?
Because even this was again the point that I keep forgetting to make was that the culture that creates that behavior, it's praised, and so regardless, and just like me, I acted out.
Yeah.
I had a great family.
Yeah.
I was taught responsibility and empathy. I made fun of people sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I'm a child. So I get caught up in being cool,
being a kid,
being
you're
a
supposed
kid
to fuck
and
off
developing,
when you're a kid.
And it's pack mentality. It's like, oh, well, everybody else is doing this.
Yeah.
Everybody else is being dumb and fighting.
So I'm gonna fight.
Why would I sit here and do my work?
Yeah.
Everybody else is cool is just not doing their work.
Yeah.
And that it's perpetual. It's so weird.
Yeah.
And it's existential for me every single day. Because I think about it on that level.
Really?
Yeah, it's really hard for me.
For kids.
Because I'm rarely being able to teach things, let alone teach valuable things.
Because it's so
just the
chaotic
environment
in there.
The environment.
It's really that bad.
Yeah.
Is it worse than when we were kids?
I
felt like we were in class, like it was quiet and the teacher taught, and you obviously had the one kid throw a paper ball and be like,
right. It's
I feel like
it's different because
I feel like it was a little bit more
because culture was a little more conservative and restrictive.
This wasn't here yet.
Right.
We didn't have we had the little Nokia slider, but you couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah. The bar is so low in the public education system.
It kind of sounds like you're just a good coach then.
I mean, it's just
like if you could take, and you're like, oh, I can make any kid smarter than an 18-year-old right now. You know what I mean? Why? Because I know how to teach them and show them the things that they could do to be at that level. You know what I mean? But you can't do it right now because I
have to go talk about 7th grade English content.
Yeah.
Because they have to pass the 7th grade English, and that's my job position. So I have to teach them about how to make a Venn diagram.
Yeah. When
comparing and contrasting. You
think a lot of that stuff we don't. You think you should talk more about?
And this is the whole thing. Like I said, the well-roundedness is if you just take a little bit of everything. That's what I guess the effort is, making these children well-rounded in all these different because all it does is help build critical thinking skills. And if you can critically think about cool science stuff, then you can critically think about math, and you can understand the structure of narrative essay or whatever you want to,